Good afternoon. I'm standing on my front steps and I decided I'll make a little video of what I see when I get up in the morning and I come out the door, and a little bit about my street, my neighborhood, and the view. So I'm going to walk down the steps and hopefully not trip down the steps and walk down to the street. I'll go up to my corner here and you can see how the houses are joined together. These are the houses across the street from me. I've shown pictures of the flowers and the beautiful colors. Somebody's been trimming the trees and the bushes here lately, and that's a good thing because we'll have more and better flowers. Here's the corner and the street that we're coming. I'm on 6th Avenue. This is or 6th Street, I'm not sure, but nobody ever uses the names anyway. And this is Avenida Canal de Panama. So this is named after the Panama Canal. And we got a neighbor here who is cooking, and I hear something sneaking up behind me. Ah, yes, it's the microbus. This is the bus stop right in front of my house. I just came back from Chachuapa on one of these things. Dios le bendiga. We'll get a friendly wave. Okay, and this is a sidewalk business, and my beautiful neighbor here is making something, making pastelitos. See, and these are things that I've talked about. I make videos and I put them on the internet, and people in the United States read them. And she doesn't know what I'm saying. Yo hago videos para enviar por internet a los Estados Unidos de mi vida aquí. Entonces es parte de mi vida. See? And this is a barrel stove. Yuca. Ay, me estoy aprendiendo. Okay, this is yuca. It's a root plant that grows freely here. And this is oil that she's busy frying it in, and it'll be a tasty treat for people like Adrianita who like to eat stuff like that. Okay, we're gonna take a walk back down the street. On the corner on my side of the street, we have a lot, one of the few vacant lots. This is where my neighbor parks his car. The house next to mine is a business, and what it is she makes the uniforms, the gym suits and things like that for all the schools around here. Silk screening, all kinds of things with clothes that just seem to be amazing. And her sign is up here, Violeta Sport. But her name is not Violeta. I don't know who that is. And as you can see, the house is right attached to my house. Let me back up a little bit. And here's my house and Dookie. Trying to figure out what's going on here. Hola, Dookie. Okay. This big garage door, portón is called, with a door in it, is a driveway. And on the other side of the driveway is where I have my garden. What I have to call it a garden, I don't know what else to call it. Not a whole lot growing there. But then immediately is another neighbor, and another neighbor, and another neighbor, and so on down the street. On both sides of the street, the houses are attached. So we'll walk down the street a ways, and we see people coming up from Colonia El Ángel. This is Lotificación Barrio Nuevo. Somewhere along the line, somebody developed the properties over here on this side of the gully. And you may have seen this little store before, because this is across from where we had a birthday party in this house one day with the tent out in the street. So if you've been following my videos, you'll know about it. So here we are at the corner And what looks like a jungle here is almost a jungle, but it's Hermana Nella's backyard. And she's got all kinds of trees here. This is a beautiful piece of property. It's a block long. Her house is in the front. She's got a little business that she has in her house in the morning. But she's got all kinds of fruit and coconuts, palms, and what have you. Now looking up the street, you see the back of the school, Francisco Gaviria, where our kids go to school. And beyond are the mountains. So we live above the coastal plain, towards the mountainous region. On the other side of those mountains, I don't know how far, but not that far, is Guatemala. In the other direction are some new houses. They seem to be developing the properties here, which is nice, and it's one of my concerns is that too much good property doesn't get developed before I can get some of my own to develop. But as you can see, these are houses under construction. Our friend Neftali is working on this house. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell what the rooms are when you look at them from the perspective of a stranger and how many people would end up living here and why this big space is here. Perhaps it's for a driveway, I don't know. I don't know if this camera is picking up the sound of a preacher about 5 blocks away from here. There's a small house church that broadcasts its afternoon messages or evening messages. And you can see it's rural. It's not really city. You know, this was under cultivation. Yeah, we have a couple of policemen walking up the street. How good to see them. This is a new house that they built recently. I was eyeing it not too long ago when it was going up. See, this is a block house, whereas the other house up there is a brick house. I don't think anybody's using adobe anymore here, but I don't know what they're looking for or looking at. Buenas tardes. One of my ex-students, I had her for about a year, and then her family decided to send her to a different school. Okay, I'm just going to walk down here to this corner, and you can see some more of the neighbors. It's one of our neighbors. And I'm an animal lover. You know, they're dirty and they smell and nobody ever washes them. But there's something adorable about a calf or the young of any animal. Mom is down the road on the other side of the street. It's not unusual to see the cattle browsing in front of people's houses, and they just get moved from here to there. They're tied with ropes, either to a tree or a pole or something. Again, this was and will be under corn before too long, as the dry season is about midway. This little dirt road goes back to my street, kind of a triangular shaped thing, so this would be the long side of a right triangle, I guess, más o menos, more or less. And a truck coming up the road. The houses here are nice. I can't compare them to anything in the States. Neither in California, where we have so much Mexican architecture, or faux Mexican architecture, and certainly not back in New Jersey, where colonial is or was in vogue, and or Victorian, or some English style houses. Even the brick houses in Virginia, which is loaded with brick houses, and on south, I guess, redneck country, certainly don't compare to these houses in anything. Most of the houses are one-story houses. You can see the roofs are the corrugated metal. Nothing fancy here. Same thing in the house on the other side of the street. It's the corrugated, but it doesn't leak like mine does with the tile. Here's a good view of the mountain. I'm sure it has a name, but I have no idea what it is, and I probably couldn't pronounce it anyway. People walking, and as you can see, the little girl's got something on her. Well, now you can see the little girl's got something on her head, or trying to get it up on her head. Traditional style. This is Hermana Esmeralda and her daughter Iris, and her other daughter Carla. And they're on their way home. And they didn't expect to be in a video hoy. Buenas tardes. Ay, qué preciosa. Carlita is a classmate of Adriana's. They're back together again after a couple of years. So this is my neighborhood. I'll give you a little idea about where we live. Maybe you can hear this lady who's singing after the man got done singing. This is the cow man. Okay, these are his cows, and you'll see him sometimes in front of City Hall when they have the cow sales, bull sales, okay. Calf sales. Going back up my street, Dookie's probably trying to figure out where I left, why I left him alone so long. He's been alone a couple times today. Another of my neighbors. I don't know what her name is. You're not supposed to get too friendly with women. Even though I like to be friendly with everybody. Buenas tardes. I hear another microbus coming. There it comes. And there it goes.